to Just Do You. This is episode 3, and today we're going to be working on defining your true north. And I will explain that as we go, but simply put, so far, our first episode, we looked back at all of the things that used to make us happy, right? We wrote them down in our notebook. We went back and we looked at what are some of the things that used to inspire me and make me smile. Then the second week, we started looking at our values, and we started realizing that every individual person has their own set of values that they live by. It's their standard of living, it's their standard of life, and it kind of defines who they are as a person. So now that you have narrowed down your core values, you can go out into the world and recognize that people's behaviors are not literally towards you. They are simply living their lives, living their values, and you happen to be affected by other people's values. So today, I want us to start looking at, what exactly is my purpose? Where am I going? Do you ever get that feeling that you're not where you're supposed to be? Something else is calling you and you can't find it? That's your true north, guys, and that's what we're talking about today. That feeling of, I'm just not on the right path. There's something else for me. I do want to remind you, I am not a doctor. I am not a therapist. I am just a teacher. I have lived my life learning, and my students have taught me more, I believe, than I ever taught them in the classroom. And one thing they taught me is everyone is an individual, and every one of us has our own true north, our own path. And we're not always on it, and we know that. We feel it calling us. Your core values are a compass. They push and they pull you through your choices. Those values that you wrote down make you determine what are you going to do next. They direct you to your true north. And because each of us has our own values, that means each of us has our own true destination, our own true north. Your north is not my north. Now, you may share similar values, and you may travel in the same direction as me for a little while. But true north is always conditional because it's always a matter of perspective. You and I could stand and look at a rainbow today, and we would not see the same colors in the same place because we would be standing in different places. We would be looking from different perspectives, and the lighting would be different from our perspective. Same is true of our true north. I never, ever want you to base a decision on somebody else or what they think. Now, I know that's hard because, especially with your parents, you want to go to your parents and ask them for advice, or your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife, brother or sister. Of course you want their input. But guys, you know as well as I do, when you ask them the questions that direct you true north, that you already know the answer. You're just looking for confirmation. Sometimes you're not going to get it from other people. You have to get it from yourself. Now, your true north is going to be determined by where you've laid your foundation. And your foundation is built from your values. This quote here says, "The vision is true north for the soul. It is a permanent, intuitive compass direction for a human being. Every person inevitably strays from the path. Life is an endless experiment and course correction. The vision brings one back to the true path. Yes, you're going to wander. Yes, you're going to make mistakes. But you're always going to feel that. And your own personal compass is going to direct you to your own true north. Your true north is your purpose, guys. It's why you're here. It's why you feel everything that you feel. So now that you've remembered and identified those core values that make you you, you can use that information to define your true north. And here's how you do that. You're defining your purpose. So you're going to get out that notebook and you are going to start writing about your perfect self. Meaning, if you could define what would be the perfect you, what would you be doing? If you could create a job that's just for you in this world, what would it be? Just start writing it down. And you're going to really, this is like defining your values. You're going to find that you'll start one way and it's based on what you always thought was your truth. But the more you write and the more you think about being happy and where you want to go, the more you're going to mark some things out and rewrite. You're going to put it down, you're going to pick it back up, you're going to reread what you've written, and you're definitely going to be editing this page. But you make sure that you are staying true to your values as you write. I'm going to go ahead and show you these resources lists while I talk to you and share with you a little bit about when I did this experiment. In fact, I'm opening my notebook right now. Got to find that page. This is the page, guys. I worked on it for a year. I did. I'd keep going back and editing and marking out and saying, no, that's not what I want to do. Sorry, I'm finding it, I swear. I've got all these quotes that I've written in here too that helped me along the way. Here it is. Okay, when I was defining my purpose, like I literally just sat down and I started writing, if I could have the perfect job, what would it be? And what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to read to you what I wrote down and how I wrote it. So, first thing I wrote down was nurture, give, create, learn from myself. The second thing I wrote was coach. I always loved coaching sports. I always loved playing sports. But now at this point in my life, I realized that was teaching. It was coaching, but it was teaching. So I marked out coach because that's not what I meant to do anymore. I marked out mentor because under teaching, I can find coaching and mentoring. The next thing I wrote down was grounded. Actually, here I wrote in a full sentence. It says, grounded coach who creates and gives nurture to myself while I am learning. Well, I like that sentence, but I still marked out coach. So it simply says grounded, creates and gives nurture to myself while I learn. The next thing I wrote was music, stories, words of wisdom. Create something to share with the world that nurtures through life lessons and beauty around us. Heal myself through creating. Heal myself and others. Our purpose is how we live life, not what role we live. It was when I wrote that sentence down, purpose is how we live life, not the role we live, that I went back and started marking out some of those roles. How I live my life. Y'all, for 23 years, I was a public school teacher. Now, there's a difference in being a public school teacher and being a teacher. I know that now. And I can't really explain that to you other than that day-to-day got old and that day-to-day got tiresome. And that day-to-day felt unappreciated. And that day-to-day felt like I was being taken advantage of. And it made me sad. And it made me realize that the coaching I was doing, the mentoring I was doing, was taking away time from my own family. So I've turned my attention now, that's why I quit teaching. I turned my attention to my family and myself. Our purpose is found every moment as we make choices to be who we really are. Guys, the last thing I wrote down, and I still haven't conquered it completely, is stop being afraid. Stop being afraid. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in your values. and know that you're going to make mistakes. Know that you're going to head in the wrong direction a time or two, and that's expected. How else would you find the way if you don't explore a little bit, right? Well, if you are in a hole today, I'm asking that you take some time to write down your true purpose. What would you be doing if you had the choice? What would your job be like, and what values would be in it? If you can define your values and you can recognize those values in everything that you do, then you are on your correct path to your true north. Well, I'm going to end here on want to support me. Please share me. You know, there might not be a time right now that you need me, but there will be a time in the future, possibly when you have lost your true self and you've lost your direction. And you probably know somebody else who's lost their direction right now. Direct them to my Facebook page. Direct them to my YouTube page. My personal Facebook page has daily quotes on there for uplifting. Check out the merchandise on my TeeSPRING store. Percentage of the profit on that store goes to crisis intervention programs here in our local area. I've got all the links here for you. Guys, send me your art. Send me your pictures. If you've looked at my TeeSPRING store, you see what I'm talking about when I say all of it is done. All of the artwork is done by local people who are looking for their happy. And that is inspiring to me to think that other people are going to be wearing your art. And I'd love to dedicate that shirt to you. So give me a personal message on Facebook. Send me a message on YouTube. Send me that art, that photo. I'll turn it into merchandise for you that you can wear and that others can wear in your name. Guys, I love you. I want you to be safe. Just do you.